All right, we're moving on to Cataclysm. It's uniquely different, I will say that. It's not like Grim Dawn or Titan Quest where there's gear specifically made for classes and gear sets and endgame sets and modifiers and all those things. With Cataclysm, you get components that you can equip to any of your gear that'll give you some like +1 to your class, and I think there's some for specific skills too, right?
Yep. So you have some unique crystal components that you can put it on also in different slots, but yeah, they give you some +1 or +2 to some individual skills in Cataclysm, and they also have some skill modifiers. You also have some dedicated gear as well from Cataclysm. It's just that it's weapons and shields and offhands only. So, and it's randomly rolled on this mod compilation, but you have level 30, level 60, level 90, and level 100 sets.
Next up, we have Druid. I've been playing this in the hardcore challenge, and I can tell you this build is amazing. It primarily supports physical damage with its resist reduction, which soft caps at 65%, which is really freaking high. It has a lot of pets, but I've been doing a dual wield melee build, and it's been doing really well because there's a ton of damage absorption here. It's got a lot of heals too. It would make a good healer for your buddy in multiplayer or your pets, of course.
Definitely, this is one of the best support classes for pets. And the thing is, you're playing it, in my opinion, the right way, just going all physical. I also have a Druid Anchorite. I play it with a two-hander mace, and it just destroys things. I mean,
Really?
that physical reduction is just too strong.
Oh, it's so good, man. And I paired it with, which a class that we're going to talk about in this same mod, Nosferatu, which also has tons of damage absorption and tons of like weapon proc skills, and it's going to be an amazing build. And a tons of attack damage converted to health, which all those three things combined, you're going to be invincible, or damn near, as long as you play your stats right. So for Druid, I'll put it under physical for both pets and melee. I don't think it would make a good caster, even though it does have some spells and stuff, just because it doesn't have the resist reduction for it. But it does do poison and vitality damage too. So. Next up we have Mage. I got the chart pulled up here, and as you can see, it's wildly supportive of fire with 170 to resist reduction at soft cap. I'm pretty sure that's with the
freeze one. It's with the freeze one.
Yeah, that's similar to Electra's flash freeze, right? They have to be.
It's the exact
frozen.
same skill.
It also supports, the other elemental types at 40, and it's actually really supportive, surprisingly, for physical. And this is, this is a class that all of its skills are elemental, and it has 80% at soft cap to physical resistance reduction, which is insane.
You can definitely play as a melee support. I did a melee earth and mage build, and it was a physical build, physical fire build, and it was really, really good still. Because of that, both of them have physical RR.
Now, I played it for the gimmick of freeze because it does have freeze resistance reduction of 100%, because there's other items that also do freeze resistance reduction, right?
Yeah, the Mage Slayer set, yeah.
Yeah, and there's an axe as well for Barbarian. I think it's 15%, so I think overall you could get it to around 150. But still, like, some of the bosses have about 500%.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, independently on how much freeze reduction you get, it's never gonna dent the super bosses, because the super bosses and the regular bosses, they have 500 CC resistance. So
yeah, for sure, it's pretty.
You have an Immortal Pet as well, with Icy Spectre as well, that gives you some additional OA and crit every X amount of seconds.
I'm pretty sure that pet is specifically the one that gives the 100% to freeze resistance reduction as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's kind of the downside of it, is it seems like it's a single target attack, so you can't really control when it's used. It's on a pet, so that's definitely a downside.
Exactly.
To it. Next up, we have Maleficar. I played this during the hardcore randomizer challenge. I died.
And you died.
It sucks. Don't play it. No, I'm just kidding.
Come on.
No, it's probably good. I only made it to level 36. I only had one skill on there. So I was just using it for resistance reduction when I died. But let's take a look here, see what it supports.
So it's gonna be Vitality and Ether. They also has Lightning R as well.
Yeah, that's right. I was well because it was paired with Inquisitor. I was gonna make it either Aether or Lightning, which it supports the most. I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
Exactly.
So 65 Aether, 72 Vitality, and 65 Lightning. So not bad.
Yep.
Oh, and 72 Physical, which again surprises me. So, and the reason that is, and that can fluctuate. Your mileage may vary because it has category C resistance reduction, which isn't a flat amount, but it's going to take 50% off of what's left of your enemy's resistances after they've already been debuffed by your other ones.
Exactly.
So, like, if you get them down to 10%, then it's only going to do 50% of that, so it's going to reduce another 5. But still, that's still another 5% damage you're doing. Inversely, though, I feel like I'm giving a TED talk here. Inversely, if you go negative, and you go way negative on an enemy, like, you know, they're negative 100.
30. Yeah.
Then you're going to get 50% of that, which is 150 negative resist reduction on that enemy.
But you need some huge resistance reduction there.
As far as playstyle goes, where would you put this? Because I didn't get to play it that far. I think it's a caster.
This is going to be caster. This is going to be pure caster. Don't see it playing anywhere else.
Getting her done, man. We're cranking through this stuff. Anything unique here that deserves a special mention?
Yeah, no, it's the Immortal class. So the last
Armor
skill
of
at the bottom. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So that gives you health, damage absorption, and once you actually reach some decent levels with this master, you can't die.
Nice.
It's a really, really good class.
Next up, we have Mercenary. Our friend Matty is playing that. They're in the randomizer challenge. He's doing pretty good. He's been hanging out on stream.
This is the physical class. I mean, 100 plus physical RR. It does armor shred, which is one of the rarest kind of shreds that you have. It has an insane amount of support with battle horn and stuff like that.
It might as well be physical resistance reduction for armor shred. Like it works exactly the same because it's going to increase that physical damage.
But you see that you have 100%, well, 99.
Sorry.
So
well, he also has class C of 20.
Exactly. Well,
so you can go even further depending on the enemy's resistances.
But see, this is what I tell you. This is soft cap.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
Is not hard
this
cap.
Is soft capped. So far, we have tons of physical builds in this mod, anyways.
Abilities for Mercenary. You need to start with the rock-biter weapon, so that's going to be your default attack replacer. So it will depend on the kind of weapon that you use. So if you're going to use maces, you're going to use the middle portion of the skill tree. If you're going to use swords and axes, you're going to use the bottom. And it's 2 different damage types. So maces are for physical, and axes and swords are for pierce and bleeding.
Interesting. Next one up is Nosferatu, which I mentioned briefly here. I've been playing this in the hardcore randomizer challenge, and it is super fun. I don't know, it has tons of attack damage converted to health, a lot of damage absorption, and circuit breakers as well. And it's mostly vitality and poison.
And bleed damage, especially on the dual wield tree at the bottom, you have a lot of bleed damage as well. So it actually pairs really well with Warfare and Merc. So, and the cool thing about this, you can actually play like a cosplay vampire class, because the aura of vampirism actually like gives you negative elemental resistance, fire resistances. So it's like you actually get more damage from fire.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty
much a cool play.
I'm pretty sure it can support anything, like absolutely anything. Its highest marks are in bleeding and pierce.
Yep.
But like its lowest marks are 40, so it could literally help anything.
I actually did a bleeding build that went up to 200 bleeding RR because of Mercenary and Nosferatu. So it was really, really good.
How would you classify, based on its skills alone, its playstyle?
Melee. It's gonna be pure melee.
Yeah, it has a bunch of weapon proc skills, and it also supports dual wield. So yeah.
Yeah, and all the actual casted skills are really short range, so it's not gonna play well as a caster because it also has a decent amount of leech, so you want to be up and close.
This would be a great role in the randomizer because you know whatever you get, it's going to support it both in offense and defense. Like it's a crazy build. You guys should definitely check this one out. We'll move on to the next one, Paragon.
Nobody likes Paragon. It doesn't really have that good defensive or offensive support. Its skills are very situational. It's just really not that good.
Yeah, supports really lightning and cold as far as resistance reduction goes.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and that's it. And it's really low flat values. It's really low percentage increases as well. So either you get a decent class to support this one, otherwise,
all right,
just do this one.
I will give it this. It's super flashy.
Yes. I would definitely not recommend it for epileptics.
On a playstyle scale, probably caster, right? Or is it a little bit?
So definitely caster. There's nothing melee. There's nothing ranged in this. When this class was on the original Cataclysm, it had shield support, so it actually had melee support, and it was really good. So the transformation that it got, it completely ruined this build.
That is unfortunate. All right, moving on. So it's Scorpion. Get over here!
So Stalker has always been amazing. It's always going to be amazing. It has a ton of Ether and Lightning support. You can play it as all three types. You can play as melee, ranged, and caster. It has Sleep CC, which is one of the rarest masteries that actually has that. And there's a few enemies that actually have Sleep CC resistance. So you can just lob a grenade into an enemy group, make them all sleep, and then you just pick them off if you want. And it has one of the best RR skills. It does up to 95 Ether RR at hard cap, so it's really good.
Oh, at hard cap? Yeah, nice. Yeah, it looks like Lightning, Aether, and Pierce. And then we were saying ranged and melee for the Stalker.
Yep.
It's been a while since I played that one, but it was super fun. Super OP with the Zenith class, and we'll get into those. Jesus.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Void Caller. I've never played it, so
this is the archetypical pet class. So you just imagine the bottom portion of Occultist Vanilla class, which is all pets. Just put it all in a single class. So all of this is going to be supporting pets. So you have like 5 different pets on this build.
It has pretty nice chaos resistance reduction there.
Yep.
It would support that nicely.
That's the thing, because it has like 5 different pets and all of them do chaos damage. The problem with the actual skills that it has, all of them have cooldown. So there's nothing that you can actually use on a constant basis. And the cooldowns are rather large. I think the lowest is like 4 seconds. So
that's fair.
If you want to start with this class, it's really not that good.
I'm going to put it on everything except Pierce and Aether.
Yeah.
I'll just put it on pets. Or maybe I'll just put it on every single pet, just to be fair. Because pets don't generally get that high of resist reduction anyway.
Yep.
Frost Knight. I've heard nothing but good things about this class. I've not played it because this was about the time I took my extended leave here. And I know it got re-rolled too. It got revamped at some point. So
yep.
I do know it does cold and poison though. It supports those.
Oh yeah, definitely. So it pretty much imagine what we have on Nightblade over the vanilla class. Just blow it up and put it on a 2-hander. I mean, Frost Knight has perma heals.
I mean, just look at that poison resistance reduction. It has 77 at soft cap. That's huge. Cold. I think that's the biggest one for poison. That's insane.
Oh, definitely soft cap. Yeah, nothing can beat it.
Yeah, it also has some good cold, 65, but that's with a little bit of class C. But still,
exactly,
that's going to vary, but not that much. It's only 21%.
and it has a passive that actually allows you to transform most of the cold damage into poison. So it's
Nice.
you can double dip on the mastery itself. It's really good, and it has support for two-handed weapons, which is really rare when it comes to cold and poison. So most of them are actually either casters or dual wielders.
So what would we say? Cold and poison, casters, and melee.
Yeah.
Well, I know it pairs well with Terror Knight, because when you combine them, you get Night Knight.
Yeah. No, it actually pairs out really well with Storm, because of Heart of Ice that it has as an exclusive buff, which actually heals you constantly. You just permanently immortal while spinning. So it's a really good combo.
Nice. Lastly, but not least, I guess, the Warden. It looks like some sort of ranger.
It is a ranged pets class. So it's a really strong pets class, but it's mostly all of the skills are ranged skills, and it can also lay traps similar to hunting.
Yeah, so on the chart it looks like it does 0, but that's only because the chart is taking in calculation that the enemy's resistance is 0, so 0 times 21% is going to be 0, but it'll knock down 21% of physical resistances.
It's really strong. You actually need to pair it with a decent class that has resistance reduction to work.
It's kind of hard to see what it supports when it doesn't have any RR, you know what I mean?
So the damage types are mostly pierce and poison, so it can work well with both.
Okay, I'll put it on those as well. So that pretty much concludes Cataclysm. Is there anything else you want to cover about the mod itself? I know a lot of components come from it. There is gear support on the vendor, but it's kind of random, and the relics are really hard to craft. That's really all I have to say about it. So
the thing about the relics is that they're dependent on the Cataclysm exclusive augments. So when you're starting out, like we're doing on this randomizer challenge, it's really hard to craft. That's something we can do. We just make a pet channel and isolate all the pet players there.
Oh yeah.
Leave us alone.
It'll be like a pet concentration camp. Here's everything we've covered so far. We will continue this series on my Twitch, so make sure you're there to check that out and ask us any questions. Link in the description below. I will continue to upload these edited segments week by week. Come check out our Discord if you haven't seen my video on the contest we're running. We are running a hardcore randomizer challenge. There's still plenty of time to get in on it, as it'll run until October 1st. The winner will get a special title in the Discord. Hope to see you there. Until then, stay excellent.